What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing the 2018 Laphroaig Cairdeas Fino cask finish. This was released in very limited amounts at the LCBO. My buddy Marco was able to pick one up for us. We're gonna split this bottle. I've reviewed at least one other Cairdeas before, and I was really excited to try this one because I like Fino aged whiskeys. I was very curious because Fino tends to be a little bit salty. Laphroaig is already salty as it is, so I thought that would marry well in this whiskey. So we'll find out now. 51.8% on the nose. So definitely quite a bit of peat. Not as much as you would get from a quarter cask, but it's that peat that is very reminiscent of Laphroaig. A little bit of a burnt rubber type smell. Some very earthy undertones and notes. Hay and mud. There's a sweet element to it as well. Maybe like a barbecue sauce. And probably like an applesauce, I would say. There's like an applesauce in the background. Right, on the palate. So, I think this one might be a bit younger from what I've experienced with the Cairdeases. There's a little bit more heat coming from this one. There's some nice drying, like Fino type notes on the palate. But when you think Fino, you think sherry, because it is a sherry, and you don't get a lot of sherry in this whiskey. It's buttery, barbecue sauce, applesauce, some like campfire smoke, a little bit of like a burnt rubber element on the palate as well. Along the sides of the palate, you get a little bit of saltiness. And there's a drying element along the tongue. Overall, it's good. Some people like it more than others. I'm gonna give that an 87. I think that's actually pretty decent. It's not the best Laphroaig I've ever had. It would be very hard to beat the best Laphroaig I've ever had because that 18-year-old that I had a while back was something special. But this is really nice. The problem is you buy a whiskey with certain expectations. So you buy this whiskey and it says Fino cask finish on it. So you're expecting it to taste like Fino wine. If you watch a review that tells you it doesn't taste like Fino wine, that lowers the expectation. I am not picking up Fino at all. I don't even really pick up sherry influence at all. I just get some really strong buttery notes, which could equate to something you would get in a really good bourbon cask anyway. The color indicates that there's probably some sherry influence, but I don't see anywhere that it says natural color. But I'm gonna say that it's probably natural color. Doesn't have to be though. What's nice about this one is the charcoal lingers, the peat smoke lingers. That's synonymous with Laphroaig. So if you're a big Laphroaig fan, I think you're gonna like this one. Is it worth spending the extra dollars on this instead of buying the 10-year-old? I don't know. The 10-year-old cask strength I'm still trying to find, because I think that would probably be my favorite Laphroaig, next to that 18-year-old, of course. But these are highly collectible. People run out to buy them every time Laphroaig introduces a new cartridge. It's good stuff. Is it something you're going to want to buy several of? If you can find the 10-year-old cask strength at a lower price, then what would be the point of buying this, in my opinion? I haven't tried the 10-year-old cask strength, but that's my suspicion, is that I would like that more than this. So that's still about an 87. I would maybe go lower and say 86, but I do enjoy it. I think it's actually pretty good stuff. So 87. You guys can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys can also check me out on Patreon. Cheers.